Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Israel Brief brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm Raylene Marks, your host, bringing you the top stories from Israel and the region every Monday to Thursday on this platform and also on our YouTube channel. You can find us at the Israel Brief, and if you click on the big red subscribe button, you help bring news from Israel out to the world that people might not see on their television channels. But without further ado, let's take a look at the top stories making headlines today. This morning, Israel's health ministry reported the highest day of coronavirus infection since the start of the global pandemic, with 3,000 new infections. Now, at the moment, there's a lot of debate going on whether or not to lock down the country as we approach the high holy days of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the New Year and the Day of Atonement. This is a thought that is being supported by the head of the health ministry, Yuli Edelstein, as well as the coronavirus czar, Professor Ronnie Gamzu. However, businesses have warned that many small businesses will not survive if there is a national lockdown. And now debate and discussion is around whether or not 8 cities which have very high levels of infection should be locked down. A lot of conjecture, a lot of debate is taking place around the ultra-Orthodox communities and some of the Arab communities because they have very high levels of infection. In fact, a ultra-Orthodox rabbi has been heavily criticized for advocating that members of his yeshivos community don't get tested, and an ultra-Orthodox newspaper criticizing the health minister and Ronnie Gamzu for saying that they have criticized the rabbi, and it really is a mess. The Prime Minister himself has also taken a lot of criticism for his handling of the coronavirus crisis. Meanwhile, in Gaza, 98 more cases have been reported. A lot of the news we have been talking about over the last 2 weeks, very positive, is with regards to normalization. We are still on an absolute high here in Israel, celebrating the Abraham Accords, the normalization agreement between Israel and the United Arab Emirates. And we are so thrilled and so proud to announce that the World Zionist Organization will be sending emissaries to work with the Jewish community there and promote cultural understanding. And the American Jewish Council, or AJC, that works in different countries around the world also to foster ties, especially between different communities. They will be opening their 13th office abroad, the first in the Arab world, in the UAE soon. A tremendous achievement, and this follows the incredible announcement yesterday that Saudi Arabia will be opening their airspace for direct flights between Israel and the UAE to take place. This significantly cuts down the flight time, which of course will reduce the cost in tickets, but is also massively symbolic and a huge step towards recognizing Israel's presence in the Middle East, which of course has not been done by many Arab countries before. Now, many are asking, where are we on the path to normalization with some of the other countries? And what we have heard coming in today is from officials who have said or have addressed I-24 News, saying that we are expecting that there could possibly be an announcement from Bahrain sometime in September about normalization. However, we must stress that Bahrain said yesterday that they won't until they see what the Saudi Arabians have to say, and the Saudi Arabians said that they won't normalize until the Palestinians have a state. However, this is the Middle East. None of us could have expected the Abraham Accords just several months ago, and it looks like the sands are shifting very quickly. What Saudi Arabia have said is that they would look very forward to cooperating with Israel on military and intelligence, which just shows the level of respect and acknowledgement that these countries have towards the state of Israel for its military capability, but also for the threat that the Islamic Republic of Iran poses, not just to Israel, but also to the region as well. And Oman have said that they are very keen to cooperate with Israel as far as security and trade is concerned. Very, very important, especially as many economies have been decimated by the global pandemic. And our last story of the day takes us back in time. It takes us to 1972, to the Munich Olympics. And we remember and we pay tribute to the 11 members of the Israeli national Olympic team, coaches and sportsmen who lost their lives when Black September terrorists killed 2 and then took 9 hostage before killing them all. We remember them. Our thoughts, our prayers are with them, the members of their family who survived them, and may their memories forever be blessed. You can read more about the Munich Massacre, and you can read all about how my co-founder Yair Shlush and I met with 2 survivors of the massacre and interviewed them about their experience. You can check that out on our website at www.layoftheland.online. It's also up on our Facebook page at Lottel Site. Give us a like, give us a follow, and also check out some of the iconic photographs from the flight between Tel Aviv to Abu Dhabi this week. Don't forget to subscribe to our news channel. You can find us at the Israel Brief. Click on that big red subscribe button, and we're on Twitter as well. So if you want to interact with us or follow us, you can find us at Lay of the Land 5. Now we are Erev Shabbat. It is the end of the week here in Israel. We will be calming down for the weekend, and don't forget to check us out tomorrow on social media to see where we are wishing you Shabbat Shalom from in the country. And we would like to wish you and your families a safe, a healthy, a peaceful weekend. Shabbat Shalom from all of us at the Israel Brief and Lay of the Land. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief. We'll speak again next week.